Every single woman I know just loves the all-over gloss look. It's not something that you can't achieve, but it is high maintenance like everything else that's fashionable. It's a look that works for most skin types. I would advise that you don't wear this look if you have acneic skin or very oily skin. But other than that, it's a beautiful look to play with. Now, because this all-over gloss look is so nude, you can see your own skin from underneath, I'm going to pair it with bursts of hot orange because that's a huge trend too. And I'm going to do a combination and pair the two together so you know that there's textural difference. So let's get started. So I'm going to begin with her eyes, and I'm starting with Clinique's Color Surge eyeshadow in Teddy Bear. And as you can see, I'm taking the darkest brown closest to the skin on her eyes. The reason I'm doing this is firstly to create a shape, because once you have the gloss on, there's going to be sheen all over and you can't tell the shape. So I'm going to create the shape first. Just wrap the entire eye in the color. Blend in the color here near the brow. Now this powder will make sure that the gloss holds in place. Now using either an angular brush or a blending brush, I would do the same thing underneath as well. Again, this is not to create a shape so much as create a shadow. This is just to give it a semblance of shape. You just want to blend off anything that looks like a line, because the whole point of this makeup is that it looks natural. Leaving this entire eyeball and inner corner area completely bare. Just going to repeat the same thing on the other eye. Make sure you color in here as well, so it doesn't look very bare. And repeat on the bottom as well. Well, I'm using a blush by Inglots AMC system in 45. I'm just going to take a small dab of color. You can use hot pinks as well, because that's another color that would look great with a very bare look like this. But make sure you use a very soft brush so you don't get a blob of color there. Well, the next thing I'm going to use is Color Bar's Take Me As I Am in Sinful Orange. I'm going to use it as a nice lipstick, a really stark orange. Before you go in with the gloss, make sure you do your mascara and let it dry. I like that this has a plastic wand and it doesn't clump. Sometimes if you have a wand that has fibers on it, it tends to clump, and I want the lashes to be separated but very, very darkly colored. You want this to dry entirely before I do it on the lower lash line, and then I want that to dry before I go with the gloss. I want to catch every single lash. Now here's the tricky part. I'm going to use All Over Gloss by Lakme. Just put it bang on the eyeball. I say this because first we've wrapped up the eye with matte, so this will hold the product from bleeding. Secondly, once you start blinking, the product's bound to move. So you don't want to start spreading it, it'll spread by itself. But there is the danger of it streaking, so make sure that you emulsify a bit of the product on your hand. Now with this look, you have to make sure that it's not on the cheek, on the apple of the cheek. You want to put it exactly where your cheekbone is and towards your temple. So it's literally like a small V here, the edges, so they don't look blotchy and patchy. To be most careful with this product, start at the temple and then work whatever's remaining over and onto the cheekbone. That way you get enough product here, but a little less on the cheekbone. Now taking your powder, you want to mattify the areas around the gloss so the gloss stands out. Under the eye, under the cheek. Well, to finish off this very high-end glossy look, I'm using a Faces lip gloss in Sheer Coral. Because the mouth is this glossy, I'm going to clean up around the mouth as well. At this point, you can adjust anything else that you want to. I'm talking about the mattes. You can add more blush, but be sure not to touch the gloss on the face because then it will start streaking. Well, here's something about glossy eyes. Every single time that you wear it, anybody wears it, this is bound to happen because there are lines on your eyes, so there's nothing you can do about it. But like I said earlier, make sure that you wrap the eyes with a matte powder. That's the only way that this product will hold right there in place. Well, with the party season around the corner, why go for the boring old staid looks? We at Glamorous think that it's a brilliant idea to pick up your brushes, go for the new products and try new looks like this one.
I hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay tuned, stay glamorous.